Guys, everyone check the audio, guys. Little echo thing students voice is not clear. Now check it out. It's clear now. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, in yesterday's class, I was talking about what, my dears? Spring Boot core module. As part of that, we understood features of Spring Boot. What is auto configuration? What is starter, right? And I have introduced one new annotation, @Spring Boot application annotation, which is combination of how many annotations? 3 annotations. What are those? @configuration, component scan, @enable auto configuration. Configuration makes class as what? Configuration class. Component scan searches for current package and sub-packages classes for stereotype annotation to recognize them as Spring Beans. And enable auto configuration based on the starters that are added, it will try to make them as what? Spring Beans. Sorry, it will try to make them as what? Auto configuration activities like making predefined class as Spring Beans, okay, giving embedded servers, embedded database software, and etc. We discussed many things like this, right? Okay, guys. @configuration. It is all on the, so I installed STS workspace IDE, so it will be right, sir. Yeah, you can use that, no problem. If you are having problem in installation of STS plugin, you can work with STS IDE. It's a separate IDE, boss. Today, if you are developing Spring Boot standalone application, what are the thumb rules that we have to follow? Thumb rule means blind rules. Number one, configure user-defined class as Spring Beans by using regular stereotype annotations, na guys? Generally, component, service, all these are called stereotype annotation. That's the same as anyone. Number two, configure predefined classes as Spring Beans using @bean methods inside the configuration class, provided if they are not coming as Spring Beans, provided if they are not coming as Spring Beans through auto configuration process. Are you getting my point there? So because already it is coming through auto configuration, why should I again make by using @bean method? Meaningless, right? Okay, now listen. Some auto configurations are happening through because of starters that I have added. You want to get some control on it, then you can give those inputs and instruction from application.properties file or YML file, which will be recognized automatically in every Spring Boot project. You need not to configure it separately. You need not to do configuration separately. Okay, guys? Okay. That is number 3. Number 4, perform dependency injections with the support of auto void annotation, now boss. Okay. Next. Number 5, don't create IOC container. Get IOC container by calling Spring application.run method. Which method? Which is a static method of Spring application class. Ready-made method is there. You pass configuration class as input or argument value to run method. That happily returns what? That happily returns, literally solidly returns application context object representing the IOC content. Application context object representing the IOC content. Convinced, my dear? Come on, everyone. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Okay, what are the thumb rules? Once again, check it out. Configure user-defined class as Spring Beans using stereotype annotations. Number two, okay, configure predefined class as Spring Beans using @bean methods of configuration class, but provided if they are not already coming as Spring Beans through auto configuration process. You can give inputs and instructions for auto configuration by using application.properties or YML file or not. Use @auto void annotation for dependency injection configurations. In the main method of main class, you don't create IOC container, access IOC container by calling what? Spring application dot run method. That means you need not to create IOC container. One method is there. If you can call that method, it will return what? IOC container object by taking given class as what? Configuration class. It's more or less same as 100% code driven configuration, except the way it is making predefined class as what? Spring Bean. Auto configuration is one extra thing. Remaining almost everything is same or not there. Fine. So I try to develop same application, whatever application we developed in Spring, but in what style, guys? Spring Boot style. Because we developed multiple examples: season finder, wish message generator, weekday finder, so many examples we develop. Let's take season finder example and let's develop that application as what? Let's develop that application as Spring Boot first application. Let me open the document, paint here, file open. What's your batch code? 719 Spring Boot core. 719 Spring Boot core. Now I am looking for session 3. Session 3 and session 4. Seven one nine 719. This is my what? Session 3. First application development in Spring Boot for dependency injection. It's all about making IOC container or Spring container assigning what? Dependent Spring Bean class object to target Spring Bean class object. Making underlying container or server or framework dynamically assigning or injecting dependent class object to target class object is called dependency injection or not there. We need to use @auto void annotation for this. If you place @auto void at field level, field injection, setter method level, setter injection, parameterized constructor level, constructor injection, arbitrary method level, what is there? Arbitrary method injection. Okay. The class that uses services of other class is called as what? Target class. The helper class to target class is called as what? Dependent class. Are you getting my point there, guys? Super. Wish message generator is what? Target class. Local date time is what? Dependent class. Season finder is what? Target class. Local date is what? Dependent class. Flipkart DTDC is what? Flipkart is target class. DTDC courier service is dependent class. Are we already discussed all this stuff or not there, guys? Okay, first you feel the thumb rule, guys. Thumb rule to remember while working with what? Spring Boot application. What is this? Standalone application. Configure user-defined class as Spring Beans using stereotype annotations like component, service, and etc. Clear, guys? Configure predefined class as Spring Beans using @bean methods of what? Spring Boot application class. If those classes are not coming as Spring Beans through auto configuration. You can give inputs or instruction to auto configuration process using what? Application.properties or what? YML file. Simply using application.properties or YML file, I can give inputs and instruction to auto configuration process or not there. That's good. Tell me. In main method of Spring Boot application class, call Spring application dot what method, guys? Call Spring application dot what method, guys? Run method. To get access to Spring container or IOC container and use that container to get your choice what? Spring Bean class object by passing its bean ID and to invoke the business methods or not. By passing its by bean ID and by this one are not there, guys. Okay, here I want to add use auto wide for dependency injection configuration. Use @auto-wide for dependency injection configuration. Convinced, my dear? Come on, everyone. Yeah. Application context CTX is equal to Spring application dot run method. Okay, run is the static method of Spring application class. You are not creating container. You are calling method getting the container, right? And you are calling ctx.getBean method having bean ID to get access to what? Spring Bean class object reference are not there. After that, you can happily call the business methods are not there. Everyone got it? Yes. Okay, have a look on this. Target Spring Bean class, user defined class. How I am configuring as a Spring Bean? @component. Okay, dependent Spring Bean. Okay, inside the main class come configuration class. I am using @bean method to configure what? Local datetime class object as what? Spring Bean are not there. Hey, come on, this is also known thing. And I'm using @auto-wide for dependency injection configurations are not there. Say something, my dear. Come on. Are you understanding my statement? I'll see all fundamentals are same or not there, guys. See how I made user defined class as Spring Bean component. How I made predefined class as Spring Bean @bean method. In which class? Spring Boot application class. Why? That annotation make class as what? Configuration class. How I am going for injection? @auto-wide. All are same, na? Little small environment is different. Earlier I used to take main class different, configuration class different. Right now, the main class itself acting as configuration class because of what? Spring Boot application annotation are not there. Check it out. Here only main method. Here only what? Configuration. Right, boss? That means while in the application development, do I need to take separate main class, separate configuration class? Main class itself having Spring Boot application annotation, that itself acting as a configuration class or not there. That means one number of classes reduced in application development are not there. Okay, that's good. Example application, guys. Yeah, first one. Keep following software setup ready. Yeah, Eclipse AWE 2020 plus version with what? STS plugin. 2025 also there, guys. Okay, anything. Right now I'm using 2024-06 or 09. 2025 also something is there. Any latest version you can use. STS plugin must be installed manually. What is plugin, sir? Plugin is a patch software that adds additional functionalities to the existing software. STS IDE features I want to use in what? Eclipse. That's why I have to add that plugin or not. Okay, in how many types of plugins are there in Eclipse? Two types. Eclipse own plugin, third party plugins. Generally, Eclipse own plugins will be installed using install new software option. Third party plugins will be installed using what? Marketplace option. But nowadays marketplace is not coming. So third party plugins also you have to install by using install new software option. In yesterday's document, I have given both procedures now, boss. Tell me, how did you install STS plugin in your system? Installed, huh? Don't ask such questions, huh? Installed or not installed? Working smoothly? Okay, those who have not installed today, do it. Because sometimes it is going to be challenging. And if you don't install your Spring Boot practicals and further practicals will be disturbed like anything. Without STS plugin, you cannot use Eclipse IDE for practicing what? Spring Boot core module or other module. Because remaining all modules also we are going to learn on the top of what? Spring Boot only. Okay, see, people are saying 2026 marketplace and install software both coming. Installs are from Eclipse marketplace. In 2024 marketplace is missing, but in 2025 marketplace is again coming. Eclipse versions are year and month names. No separate other numbers, guys. They are identified based on year of and month of release. Okay, 2025-06 is the latest, it seems. You can use that also. That's not a problem. Fine. Okay. Yeah, let me launch Eclipse IDE to do this. Okay, first in my system already Eclipse IDE is there. That to install with what? STS plugin. What's your batch code? 719. Okay, say launch. Seven one nine, say launch. File, new. Where is this? Spring Starter project. What project? No more Maven project. You have to select Spring Starter project. Now, some kind of Maven project only, but we don't create directly, we create indirectly. Okay, that's good. Okay, first name of the project, guys. Once again, check it out. What is the option? File, new, Spring Starter. If it is not coming, select project, search for Spring. You will get Spring Starter project. If you use multiple time, it will come in the file menu itself. First name of the project. Okay. Boot IOC pros 01. What's the name of the project I am passing, guys? Boot IOC pros 01. That's good. Yeah. Tell me next one. Here is my Maven. What is the option we are having? Jar. And what is the build tool you want to use Maven? Standalone application means jar. Web application means where. Right now I want to develop standalone application. That's why I have chosen jar. Which version of Java you want to use? You can take latest 24 also, but it's compatible with 21 very much. Latest version of Spring is compatible with this. Which language you want to use? I said, nah, we can use multiple languages to write the Spring Boot coding. Okay, recommended is Java, but we have option to work with Groovy and Kotlin. Yeah, when you create project in Maven, group ID, artifact ID, we have to pass na boss. Here also it is asking. Here also it is asking. Generally, group ID is company website in reverse. Okay. NIT.com. So I will write generally say com.nit. This is artifact ID, guys. 1 minute. Okay, project name becomes artifact ID. Dependency injection. Description, guys. Spring Boot core module project. Spring Boot core module project. What's the default package you want to get? Array, in Maven also we need a default package now, guys. Yeah, this is one thing you have to be careful. In this default package, main class with @Spring Boot application annotation class comes. Main class having main method, that too having what? @Spring Boot application annotation come. @Spring Boot application annotation means it is internally having component scan also, guys. It is also internally having component scan or not there. It is also internally having component scan or not there, guys. Say something, my dear. What this internally available component scan does, guys? It will search in current package and sub packages for stereotype annotation classes. Okay, it's better to keep this default package and main class in a root package, and let's make remaining all packages as sub packages of this root package, so that it becomes easy for component scan to scan and what, get all the classes having stereotype annotations or not. To scan and get all the classes having stereotype annotations becomes easy or not there. Okay, that's good. Blindly remember, though it is main class, don't take main package. Though it is configuration class, don't take package name as config. Always try to keep in one or other root package. Not compulsory com.nt. You can be ABC also. But make sure that remaining all packages are sub packages for that ABC. Come on. So that what happened? Component scan is indirectly there in what? The com.nt package. It will search for all the classes in the current package and sub packages, na boss? Okay, that's good. Say next. Say next. Say finish. This is my dependency injection. Yeah, here is my what, guys? Application dot properties file. This is a default. You need not to configure it separately. It coming automatically. Check it out. What are the folders? SRC main Java to keep source code. In that one default package com.nt came, having project name as the class name. One main class has come, having annotation @Spring Boot application. Inside that main method is there, and it is automatically calling Spring application dot run method, taking main class name as input value. So that means what this run method will do, takes the main class, given main class as the configuration class, internally creates IOC container, returns that IOC container, right? No, it is not, we are not catching, we have to catch it. Come on. What is this ARGS, guys? Command line argument. If you give any command line argument, they internally use it as Spring Bean property value. Right now, they are not important. We are worried about first argument only thoroughly, right? We are worried about what? First argument only thoroughly. Convinced with me or not there? Tell me. Application. Okay, why all this stuff? Let's go for try. Configurable. What is there? Application context CTX. Configurable application context CTX. Flower bracket opening and what? Closing. Flower bracket opening and what? Closing. Tell me here. Exception E. E dot print stack trace. E dot print stack trace. Where is this? create the IOC container. Get Spring Bean class object reference. Okay, then you have to write the remaining code. Fine, guys. Yeah. Configurable application context. Why configurable? You can take application context only, or you can take annotation config application context only. You can take annotation config application context, but I'm trying to refer with interface reference variable in which close method is there. In application context, close method is not there. In configurable application context, close method is there. So that at the end of the try block, automatically close method will be called and container will be closed or not there. No, you don't want that. Okay, what you want to do? Annotation config. Annotation config application context. Yeah, maybe it is not directly returning, guys. It is asking some typecasting. So that's why what I do, guys. Okay. See, what's the problem with only application context? It's saying application context is the right way, but it is not auto closable. There's no implementation of close method is not there. Moreover, what? It is not implementing auto closable interface. Then what is the one I am configuring? Configurable application context, in which close method is there. Configurable application context is the sub interface of what? Application context interface. 1 minute. You want to get its a source code, guys? F3. You want to get its a hierarchy, guys? F4. Look at its hierarchy, guys. Configurable application context. Application context. They are in relationship or not there? There are not there. Okay, check it out. Configurable application context extends from what? Application context life cycle and what? Closable. Life cycle and what? Closable. Okay, it should implement auto closable now, guys. 1 minute. Okay, application context means our interface only. Is it auto closable? Check it out. 1 minute. F2. Is it implementing any auto closable? No. Okay, forget about that. So we'll come to what? Previous one. Configurable. You look at the life cycle, guys. You look at the source code of life cycle. Life cycle start end is there. Okay. You look at the closable. Alright, definitely somewhere link with closable is extending from what? Auto. Closable extending auto close means indirectly configurable. Application context also extending what? Auto closable. That's the reason I am preferring to refer with what? Auto closable. So am I creating IOC container or am I accessing IOC container? Am I creating IOC container or am I accessing IOC container? I am not creating, I am accessing the IOC container. Everyone convinced with me, my dear? Come on, everyone. Got the clarity or not there, guys? Super. Get a Spring Bean class object reference. Configurable application context CTX is equal to Spring application dot run method. This one, ARGS. Get a Spring Bean class object reference, guys. Simply you need to get what? Spring Bean class object reference are not there, guys. Yeah. So now we have to develop the remaining things here. New package com.nt.sbins. com.nt.sbins. There I will develop my target class. What is the target class, guys? season find. What is there? Season finder. Season finder dot Java. What is there? Target Spring Bean class. At the rate component. What is there? SF. At the rate component SF. That's good. At the rate component SF. Okay. Private local date. At the rate auto. Right now, the injection that I am doing is what? Field injection or not there? The injection that I am doing here is what? Field injection. So here is my business method. What is the business method? Public string. Public string. Okay. Show season name. What is there, guys? Show season name. Are you getting my point there? Get. What is there, guys? Okay. Get. Okay. Get current month of the year. Get what? Current month of the year. Tell me. Into month is equal to get into month is equal to get month value. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. Find the season. If month greater than or equal to, if month greater than or equal to 3 and month less than or equal to 6, return what is there? Summer season. Else if month greater than or equal to 7 and month less than or equal to 10, return what is there? Rainy season. Else return what is there? Winter season. Written what season, guys? Winter season. Yeah, this is my business method or not there? Int month is equal to get date dot get month value. This is summer season. This is rainy season. This is what? Winter season. Okay, we are ready with the business logic and business method also. Okay, we need to configure local date class as Spring Bean. For that one, we have to use @bean method in configuration class. Is there any need of taking separate configuration class? Already available main method itself, main class itself acting as a configuration class now, my dear. Okay, check it out. It's a combination of Spring Boot configuration, enable auto configuration component. Component scan. There are not there. So enable Spring Boot configuration is extension of configuration class, configuration annotation or not. So indirectly main class itself becoming what? Configuration class or not there. Indirectly the main class itself becoming what? Configuration class or not there. Okay, that's good. Okay, here what I do is public, tell me, local date, create L date or date, whatever it is. Here is what? @bean. Name is equal to L date. @bin name is equal to LDate. Okay. Control plus shift plus O. Return, where is this? Local date dot now. Simply written local date dot now. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Everyone getting my point there or not? Written local date dot now. Is that clear, guys? Come on, everyone getting my point there. Written local date dot now. Sys trace. What is there, guys? Sys trace. Fine. Okay. Now here I created IOC container, right? Here I'm getting access to IOC container. So get a target. What is there? Spring Bean class object reference. We're trying to get target Spring Bean class object reference are not there. Season finder. What is there? Finder is equal to ctx dot get bean. What dot get bean, guys? ctx dot get bean. Understanding my statement, guys? ctx dot get bean sf. Where is this? Season finder dot class. What dot class, guys? Season finder dot class. Are you comfortable, my dear? Come on, everyone. Simply, literally, what I'm going for here, guys? Season finder dot class. Okay, that's good. Season finder is equal to ctx dot get bean sf season finder dot class. Okay, tell me next one. Invoke the business method. Invoke the business. String message is equal to finder dot show season. System dot out dot println. What is there? Season name is what is there? MS. Season name is what is there? MS. Comfortable, my dear? Come on, everyone. That's good. Or right click, run as. Where is there? Java application. Rainy season has come, my dear, because we are in 9th month. That's why it is coming as what? Rain is. Happily application is executing or not. See, all fundamentals are same. Only the configurations are little different. We are automatically getting main class as configuration class. No need of taking separate configuration class. There only we are using @bean method to configure predefined class as Spring Beans. Are you understanding my statement? Okay, what is the difference between Spring and when you execute Spring Boot application, this logo will come, which is Spring logo only, but it's an indication. It's using this one, some log messages have come. All this. Again, same stuffs on the top of setter method, setter injection, arbitrary method, all fundamentals will remain same on. All fundamentals will remain same, nothing great. Okay, let's confirm all this stuff. STS plugin is ready. We are creating what? Project. Everything is mentioned here, right? Yes. In every Spring Boot project that is created, there will be inherited from parent boot project is me. Even observe one thing. Today did I add any dependency tag in pom.xml, guys? But look at the number of jars that are coming, guys. So many came now, boss. How, sir? By default, some dependencies come automatically. Open the pom.xml. Open the pom.xml, guys. Some dependencies came automatically or not there. Spring Boot starter test. This is related for testing purpose. This is related for core module programming, right? Not only the reason, that one. You observe every Spring Boot project is inheriting from another available Spring Boot project by making that project as what? Parent project. Okay, there is a term called Maven inheritance. If you link one project of Maven with another project, everything belongs to parent project will come to what? Child. Everything belongs to parent project will come to what? Child project. Okay, this is not our project, guys. Please remember, this is the project that is already there in Maven Central Repository, having its own dependencies, having its own plugins, having its own properties. All of them will come to what? Our project are not there. Though you are not adding any starters, did we add any starters today? Not. Did we add any dependencies today? No. Though we are not adding any starters or dependencies, how does Spring Boot project by default getting so many jar files? It's because of two reasons. Number one, by default, pom.xml gets some dependencies like Spring Boot starter, Spring Boot starter test plus. Okay, every Spring Boot project is a child project to already available project that is Spring Boot starter parent. From there, it will gather jars, plugins, and properties. Yes or no, na, boss? That is the result. That is the result for this. Check it out. That is the result for these many dependencies. And when you add any starter, guys, you will get only main dependent or relevant also. Okay, look at this. Look at this SLF4J, JSON path, XML bind API. They are not dependent. They are what? Relevant jars. Even Snake ML, they are not dependent, guys. They are what? Relevant log back. All these are what? Relevant jar files. Okay, why should I believe, sir? The jars are coming because of that only. Wait a minute. Go to pom.xml, comment this parent. Go to pom.xml, comment this parent. Are total that Maven dependency section is disappeared or not there? Maven dependency section is disappeared or not there? At least now you realize it is doing something for us or not there. This is you comment this. Okay, now you save it, guys. Now you save it. Now you comment this, guys. Come on. Okay, now you comment this. Then also they are disappeared now, boss. It's coming because of two things. You open this dependency, this one, you say refresh. You say refresh. Wait for some time. Now Maven dependencies have come, my dear. Come on. So that means the jar that you are seeing in Spring Boot project is coming because of two things. The default dependency tags that are there in dependency section plus the parent project whose name is Spring Boot starter parent, where it is available, sir, in Maven Central Repository. From there, it will inherit many things. From there, it will inherit what? Many things. Okay, first of all, let me give the confirmation. mvnrepository.com, Spring Boot starter parent. Spring Boot starter parent. What is that, guys? Spring Boot starter parent. Spring Boot starter parent. Yeah, is there? Spring Boot starter parent. Spring Boot starter parent. Okay. Yeah, some explanation is coming over there or not there. So that means it is there in Maven central repository or not there. It is definitely there in Maven. Every Spring Boot project that is created will be inherited from what? Parent boot project of the Maven central repository by getting what? Parent tag in pom.xml file. It is coming, boss. This comes under Maven inheritance or not there. Okay. Step number 3. Observe the directory structure. That's good. Develop the source code. We are developing in @bean method. Okay. We are accessing the container, all this stuff. What this Spring application dot run method will do, guys? Class that can be used to bootstrap and launch Spring application from Java main method. By default, this class will perform following steps to bootstrap your application. Creates application context container. Register command line property source to expose command line arguments are Spring property. Second argument you asked na boss. Because of this, the given ARGS, second method of run method, will be taken as what, guys? Values. They will be exposed as Spring properties internally. Don't worry. Refresh application context, loading all singleton Spring Beans, my dear. Come on. And trigger any command line runners. Still, I have not introduced runners. If any runners are there, runners will be called. If any runners are there, runners will be called. In most of the circumstances, static run method can be called directly on what? On your main method to bootstrap your application. Got it, my dear? Yeah, configurable. Annotation application context is implementing configurable application context that is extending from what? Application context interface are not there. Okay, that's good. You run the application as a Java application and you can see the output over here or not there. You can happily see the output over here or not there, guys. Okay, that's good. There is no close method in application context interface, but we have close method in what? Configurable application context interface. Moreover, on configurable application context interface is what? Auto closable. So it can be created on open in what? Try with resource. That's why we are preferring to typecast with what, guys? We are preferring to typecast with what, guys? A configurable application context. No. If you take with application context while calling close method, I have to do typecasting or not? While calling close method, I have to do explicit typecasting. Here I have not used try with resource. If I use try with resource, this headache is not there now, my dear. It will be closed automatically or not there. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Every Spring Boot project created by programmer will become what? Child project to Spring Boot starter parent project, which will be collected from Maven central repository. So from this parent project, lots of jar files will be inherited to our project. Every Spring Boot project is child project to Maven central repository, maintained ready-made project called Spring Boot starter parent. This concept is called Maven inheritance. The Spring Boot starter parent project gives the following facilities toward our Spring Boot project: jar files, plugins, properties. Okay, not for property files, just properties. The pom.xml of Spring Boot project contains following parent tag showing the Maven inheritance between what? Our project and Spring Boot starter parent project. Are you getting my point there, guys? In most of the Spring Boot application, we do not use what? Configuration and component scan annotations. The reasons are, what is there? The reasons are Reasons are the Spring Boot project creation itself gives what? Default main class having main method and the class level Spring Boot application annotation, which internally contains what? Configuration, enable auto configuration, component scan annotations are not there. Configuration of Spring Boot application annotation makes the main class as what? Configuration. At the rate component scan annotation of Spring Boot application annotation scans main class package and its sub packages to recognize stereotype annotation classes. So it's recommended to place all packages in Spring Boot project. What project, guys? All packages in what? Spring Boot project as the sub package of the root package like com.nt, and we need to choose this root package as what? Default package in Maven project. Default package in what? Maven project. Are you understanding my statement, guys? So that's the reason we are not using component scan and configuration separately. They are very much available in what? At the rate Spring Boot application annotation itself are not there. At the rate Spring Boot application annotation itself are not there. How does Spring Boot project of core module is getting multiple jar files to build path automatically, though we are not adding any starters and dependencies to what? Pom.xml. The following things will be added to pom.xml automatically, and they give what? Lots of jar files to build path of the project. Okay, these two starters are added now, boss. This is core module main starter, and this is for testing starter, right? Okay, and it become child project to this are not there. It become child project to this are not there. Because of these two things, lot of starters, a lot of jar files are coming automatically or not there. This is very tricky and intelligent question in the interview. While developing Spring Boot project, did we add starters or not? Okay, if though you don't add starters, you are still getting some jar file, how they are getting. So for what is our knowledge of Maven? By default, JUnit jars will come, remaining all jars you will get only when you add dependency. But in Spring Boot, it is reversed or not there. Though you are not adding any starters, right? Though you are not adding what? Any starters. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Okay, guys. Tell me. I'll go to this place. I'll go to this place, Chat GPT. Let me give more importance of what is this? Spring Boot, starter, parent. Okay, parent in Spring Boot projects. In Spring Boot project. Key importance, guys. What are the key importance? First one, dependency management. What is there? Dependency management, nothing but version control. Please notice one thing, guys. Am I mentioning versions here? But look at the jars. They are coming to specific version or not there. Then where, how does? It's because of parent starter version. Okay, listen. Whenever you modify anything in pom.xml, you just change HTTP to HTTPS. issue will not be. That red mark will go off, right? Okay, that's fine. Okay, now look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Spring Boot starter parent 3.5.5. What is there? 3.5.5. This is the version we are specifying or not? This is the version that we are specifying. Based on this version, the jar versions are decided or not there. 3.5.5, 3.5.5. Though we have not given any version there, they're coming or not there. That's the advantage of that version control. What is there? The parent starter version will decide other starters version. That's why there is no need of keeping what? Version in other starters. So for example, I'm planning to add one more starter, guys. mvnrepository.com. Okay, I'm trying to add Spring Boot starter JDBs. Spring Boot starter JDBs. Okay, that's good. I'm just selecting something. Okay, this one. Okay, go to Maven. This one. Look at this. I'm not going to mention version, guys, but still it will give what? Parent starter related version or not there. The parent starter related version are not there. Check it out. I did not mention version, but you observe Spring Boot starter JDBC also what? 3.5.5 version has come, my dear. That's advantage number one. What is there? Advantage number one. Okay, that's good. Fine. This is what this is saying, guys. Manages version of commonly used dependencies automatically via Spring Boot dependency management plugin. You don't need to specify version in most of the Spring Boot. What, guys? Spring Boot supported libraries. Spring Framework, Hibernate, come on, Jackson, Tomcat, and etc. So Spring Boot starter web is there or not there? Spring Boot starter web is there or not there, guys? Say something, my dear. I want reply, guys. org.springframework.boot. Spring Boot starter web. No need of give version managed by parent POM. That's another advantage number one. Next, build configurations. Provide sensible default. Java compiler version, target version, this kind of sensible defaults will come or not. What is there in parent? Same thing will come to child or not there. Plugin configuration. Some plugins, Surefire, Failsafes, Jar, some plugins also will come automatically or not there. Encoding also will come automatically. Saves you writing what? Long build configuration. Check it out. Wait a minute, wait a minute. In build section, plugin section is very, very less now, boss. You open our plain previous Spring related pom.xml. All these are Spring related pom.xml now, guys. Open pom.xml. Go to build section. Go to build section. How many plugins they had written, guys? Many. Why those plugins are not there in Spring Boot project? Because they are automatically inherited from what? Parent project. Interesting or not there? Come on, guys. And not only that, even properties also. Here we are writing some properties. Check it out. This is regular Spring project, UTF-8, 21 something something, right? You go to Spring Boot this. Spring Boot, except Java version, anything else we are mentioning? No. But so many things will come from parent project are not there. So from parent project, what are the things it will inherit? Jars, dependencies, plugins, and properties. Interesting or not there? Okay, that's good. Next one. Plugin management comes with pre-configured important plugin, Spring Boot Maven plugin, Compiler plugin, Surefire plugin helps to avoid repetitive plugin steps, right? Okay. That parent only will give all useful plugins are not there, guys. Next, inheritance and customization. Array, not compulsory. You have to obey them. If you want, you can still override, right? Suppose parent is giving Java 24 by default. No, I want to work with the Java 21. You can override in properties section or not there. You can still override any version or settings when needed. Example is this. Example, it changes the Java version globally for the project or not there. Next, consistency across the projects, right? Ensures all your Spring Boot projects use a compatible version of dependencies and plugin. Since you are mentioning version only for one time, for remaining starters, version is dynamically decided. Compatibility will come among the all the starters are not there. Reduced runtime conflicts like class not found exception, no such method error caused by what? Mismatched versions. Without Spring Boot starter project, you must manually manage dependency version. You must configure Maven plugins yourself. You risk your version conflicts and more time in maintaining what? POM.xml. Okay, conclusion. What is the conclusion? Spring Boot starter parent makes your Spring Boot project cleaner, more maintainable, less error prone by centralizing what? Dependency management, build configuration. It's not mandatory, but highly recommended for most of the Spring projects. Everything clearly given, na boss? Yes or no, na guys? Okay. Explain the importance of. What is there? Explain the importance of Spring Boot starter parent process. Explain the importance of Spring Boot starter parent project in pom.xml file. Parent project in parent tag of. In parent tag of pom.xml. I liked the way they have given point by point. Okay. Fine, no problem. Control E. Let's make how much? 16,000. I need a bigger space, right? Yeah. No need of giving version in pom.xml, guys. Next. This is the another advantage we have. Default build configurations. Default build configurations. Inheritance and customization. Inheritance and what? Customization. It has come nicely, guys. Okay, fine. So now we'll see. We have got two more starters that are coming now, boss. Explain in short. I don't want lengthy. Explain in short about what is this? Spring Boot starter, Spring Boot starter. Next one, Spring Boot starter test. Two more starters are coming automatically now, boss. Spring Boot starter. It's a core starter in Spring Boot. Brings basic dependencies needed to start any Spring Boot application. Includes Spring Core, Spring Context, logging kind of thing. Okay, think it's a foundation for any Spring Boot application. Yeah, next. Spring Boot starter test. It's a testing starter in Spring Boot. Provides library to write what and run the test easily. Includes JUnit, Spring Test, Mockito, AssertJ, Hamcrest. All these are related to testing, guys. In short, okay. Spring Boot starter base for running application, base for testing application. Okay, it gives ready to use testing setup for unit testing and integration test in Spring Boot are not there. For unit testing and integration test of Spring Boot are not there. Okay. See, now onward, there's no need of wasting time on drafting. ChatGPT is providing nice drafting on anything. Okay. So you also, there's no need of writing notes and on your own words. It's how you ask in that format. You ask in the table format, it is given table format. You give me, you ask him to elaborately, it's giving elaborate. In short, in short. One-liners you ask, it will give one-liners also. Got it? Yes. But you should have a clarity what to be asked. So basic subject is required. See, yes, ChatGPT is a helper component, is not a main component. Basic subject is required, basic learning is required, logic of application development is required. If you stuck up anywhere, okay, instead of you analyzing here and there, you can directly ask what? This one. Fine. Okay. What is the importance of the default? The default dependencies that come in. The default dependencies that come in. Okay, the default dependencies that come in. Where guys? That come in pom.xml of Spring Boot project. What project, guys? Of Spring Boot project. What are the default dependencies, guys? Spring boot starter comma. Spring boot starter parent. What is that? Test, acha, test. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Okay. Let me give one small conclusion. Can I say all the jars what you are seeing here is coming because of these only, na boss? Yeah, where is missing? This is not commented. This is not commented. Then why it is not coming? Why is not coming, ra? Anything is missing? This is Spring project, boot IOC. Hey, no, that is correct one only. Ra. Acha, I have opened Spring project one. Okay, this is singleton class. Okay, fine. Boot IOC process. Maven dependencies. See how many jars are there? So many jars have come or not there. But first of all, let me remove that stuff. Pom.xml. Spring Boot starter JDBC, something is there. Remove this one. I don't require this. Save this, guys. Save. Save this, guys. Save. Maven dependencies. Okay. Giving so many jars now, guys. At least are you able to feel main, dependent, relevant, so many jars it is giving. This is one thing. And here, what is the last jar that is taken? Jakarta bind. Here is the. Everyone getting my point there or not there? Comfortable or not there? Super. Yeah, what's your batch code? 17th July. I hope you got complete grip on Spring Boot first application development and you can develop the assignments. Wish message generator application is there. Come on, that you can develop. Our weekday finder application is there that you can develop. Any application of your choice you can develop. Okay, if you want, you can create a new scenario. Let me write that assignment also, guys. Assignment. Develop. What is there? Other applications of what is there? Wish message generator. What is there? Wish message generator with wish message generator with local time. Weekday finder with weekday finder with what is there? Local date. Develop other applications as what, guys? Other applications of Spring as Spring Boot applications performing various types of what is there? Dependency injection. Performing various types of dependency injection. I hope you will practice, guys. My favorite question of today is you are not adding any starters, you are not adding any dependencies. But how does Spring Boot core module project is getting so many jars under Maven dependencies section, right? Because of two reasons. Two dependencies are coming automatically. That is Spring Boot starter and Spring Boot starter test in combination with parent. Now parent is now controlling what versions of whatever the jars. Both are required. These default tags are required and their parent is required. If parent is not there, version control will not be there. Without version, what jar files it will download? That's why you observe. You comment parent tag, we are not getting jar. You comment these two starters, the jars are not coming, right? Okay, because of these two things. What's the other advantage of Spring parent tag, sir? It will control three things. Number one, dependencies version it will control, right? You mention version there. Remaining starter, you don't mention version. All starters of same version will come or not there. Will give plugins. If you look at normal Spring project, so many plugins are added manually. You are generated, but we are indirectly only adding, right? But here, if you look at Spring Boot pom.xml, only one, two plugins are added. Remaining all plugins are inherited from what? Parent project or not? Inheriting properties. Java version, encoding version, target compiler version, all these properties. Come on. Actually, we should keep, but we are not keeping. Everything is gathered from what? Parent project. Avoiding version clashes among the jars, right? Avoiding what? Version classes and plugin clashes. So many advantages are there with parent project or not? Definitely, interviewer asked this question means you want to check whether knowledge is depth knowledge or normal knowledge. Generally, people focus on coding and they forget to understand what is there in pom.xml. At least now you are comfortable. Okay, why jars are coming automatically? What's the role of that parent tag? What's the role of default starters that are coming? Come on. Everything is coming nicely here or not there? Okay. Yeah, let's start uploading the doc. Yeah, here is what Spring Boot core. Let me save the document. Yeah, sir, you have not given flow of execution. Generally, you give flow of execution. Tomorrow, flow of execution plus. I'll introduce various annotations that are there. And we try to develop second application. That strategy design pattern, second application is there now. Again, we try to develop in Spring Boot. Here also, we try to get ambiguity problem. Here also, we try to solve the ambiguity problem. But this time I need not to develop separate property file. I can use already available application.property file or not there. Initial 1 2 application, I am not touching auto configuration. Auto configuration is not touched. Next class, third application onwards, I will get into what? Auto configuration. Right click, file upload, Spring. Where is this? 719. Spring Boot core. Spring Boot core. Session number 3. Yes, that's good. That's good, guys. Okay, now let me take any queries are there from online students. Are you practicing, guys? If you practice, you will get interest to attend the classes. When you have interest to attend the classes, you will get interest to do practicals. When you do interest to do practical, you will get interest to solve others' problems, to show your knowledge. When you do all this thing continuously, you will get a interest to attend interviews. Otherwise, you will start postponing this. Postponement is cancerous. The day you postpone, you may convince yourself. But one day, okay, it will create a big mess. I'll tell. One of your roommate, one of your senior, looking for immediate recruitment of one fresher or 1+2+ candidate in his team. Company HR said, "Arey, for 1 2 candidates, how I will conduct drive? I don't conduct drive. You only arrange on your own. It's for your team only, no? You only arrange." So that time they try to get through referrals. First team members try to refer one or other fellows. They take one formal interview, right? So such opportunities will come in 1 2 days. Today you will come, tomorrow you have to give interview. After 2 3 days, you will get the job. Because that's urgent requirement within the team. Suppose one existing member left or absconded, so you need to replace. Or work is improved, they want to add 1, 2 freshers to the team. That time drive, all this hangama will not be there, right? Within references, they will try to complete the recruitment. So you can attend such interviews if you are ready with the subject. Today, discussion happened. Tomorrow you have to give interview. After 1, 2 days, you have to join in the company. Suppose you are daily practicing, daily in touch with the subject, you will be ever ready battery to give interview or not there. Suppose you are postponing, when you are a senior or relative or friend gives that opportunity, you will say, I'm not confident, should I come? Okay, if you show guts of going and giving interview also, you will fail it. So that's a postponement is cancerous. When you postpone, you may be saying a number of reasons to convince yourself. But when reality comes into picture, you will be the loser. So complete everyday practice that day itself. So here I am taking 1.5 hour time, but to complete these practicals, hardly you need 10 to 20 minutes, right? How much time you are taking? Sir, if I practice, I will know, sir, how much time I am taking. Smile is not the answer. I want you people to practice. Practice makes to stay in the subject, to come to classes, to go to interview, everything related to practice. If you don't do practice, next 10 days you'll understand subject. 11th day onward, heaviness starts. 20th day onward, confusion starts. 25th day onwards, why should I go? If I go also, I'm not getting it. You will wait for next batch. Next batch, again, you do the same thing. Forever you will learn Spring Boot microservice. Otherwise, your parents will say, "Bahut ho gaye, aa jao." Because how many days they will feed you, right? Yeah, if you show progress, they will feed you. If you don't show progress, how they will feed you? So please enjoy life, but at the same time, try to know the priorities. And don't look for separate entertainment. This is my requirement. A Spring Boot starter parent is in central repository. Ram Kumar, that is what I said. It is collected from central repository. Please give me information, sir. Sometimes ChatGPT wrong answer. Okay. I don't know why it is giving wrong answer. And ChatGPT also collects from other websites. If other websites are having wrong answer, it also gives wrong answer. That's why ChatGPT is not everything. You should have your subject so that you can analyze what is right, what is wrong. Okay, guys. Why it is right, what is wrong. You should use your common sense. Yes, sir. Ask question kills thinking. Maybe I am asking wrong question. What is more important, sir? Core, advanced, Spring Boot practice. Core and Spring we have to practice, guys. Advanced Java you can take light. Core Java and this one. And if you do everyday practicals, anyone can share classrooms needs. Sir, dare to ask question kills thinking. Maybe I am asking wrong question. What is there in wrong question, Ra? Okay, actually by this time you should have priorities to know. You're asking bit lately. Fine, whatever it is. Let it be. I think I have uploaded material. Yes, okay. So we are getting into coding of Spring Boot core. So please be regular, attend classes regular, practice it, automatically interest comes. And moreover, frameworks na, less coding, more analyzation. Burden on brain is very less. Analyzation you have to do more. Because most of the common thing you do only take care, right? Right. Thank you guys. Have a nice